What's going on, everybody out there? It's Ron Brown, LMT, the People's Fitness Professional, alongside my co-host.
Fever.
And this is a New Yorker's perspective. We have the brother Crip Jesus King L in the
Peace to
building.
divine family.
Peace. West Coast is in the building.
West Coast is in the building.
New York to the West.
Don't forget to
Much
like,
love.
comment, share, subscribe. And
Yes.
those who are listening on Spotify, Apple Music, and all of that, make sure y'all find us on YouTube, NYP Talk Show at NYP Talk Show on YouTube.
Definitely. And don't forget Super Chats, family. Super Chats. As my brother Ron said, like, share, comment, subscribe. It doesn't hurt to press that like button. Share with a friend.
Share with a friend. Yo, Awareness Daily is in the house already. What's
Peace,
up, Awareness
man.
Daily? Yo, Awareness Daily, where you been, bro?
Yeah, man.
He been well, we kind of been off and on like lately. But anyway, let's get to it. Crip Jesus in the
Peace
building.
family.
Peace. Let's go straight into it, brother.
But,
Crip
but
Jesus.
before we do though, man, I want to give honors to y'all. I've been in the cut watching y'all for a minute because I'm a 5%er. Y'all one of the few outlets that really let the guys speak out. And I always felt like when I'm doing enough, when I'm putting enough work in, I'll know when NYP holler at me. You know what I mean? Because y'all I got your own lane, so I'm like, if they feel like you making some noise, they're gonna tap in. So I'm just really proud of even myself to be here, man. It's like a milestone for me, believe it or not.
I appreciate it, man.
That's peace.
Thank
Yo,
you. Real recognized, real.
For real. Yo, Crip Jesus, man. I just want to let you know, man. We weren't expecting people to really be up on a show like that because we just came in this joint with a pure heart and said, yo, we want to do something for the people.
Yeah.
We did this, and now we're going. July will be year 2 of doing this. Year 2 in July.
Yeah, we did it with pure intentions, man.
Yep.
No funny business. We give everyone a chance to come up and speak,
Indeed. So now let's talk about it, Crip Jesus. Where are you from?
Yeah, I'm from Los Angeles, born and raised. You know what I'm saying? Even when I did the 15 years, I did it out here. I know a lot of people, I hear different stories about myself. People say I'm from Detroit, I'm from the South, I'm from the East Coast, and all of them, I made all those places my homes when I was out doing my thing. But I'm born and raised in Los Angeles, from birth all the way to, I never even left really LA like that until I went to prison. That's all throughout the state. You know what I'm saying? Came back to LA, you know what I mean? Really, peace to the guys, joining the nations what really got me hopping on and off them planes and all that. So up until like 30, 31, I've been in LA all my life and then in prison in California.
Okay. So take us through your journey a little bit. So what part of Los Angeles are you from?
I'm from Leimert Park, like where they film Baby Boy, parts of like Boys in the Hood. Really, it's like the Crenshaw district, but the Crenshaw district is really like in the area. The technical Crenshaw district, like the boxed in on the map, is in the 50s and the 60s between Crenshaw and like La Brea. We're in the 40s between Crenshaw and La Brea, but going up the whole west side. A couple dudes been kind of buzzing, going viral. I don't know if y'all into that type of stuff, like No Jumper and all that. A lot of them dudes are from my area of 4Extra.
4Extra, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So a lot of those dudes are from out the 40s. So it's a real big hood and right next to Nipsey's area. And we go from like by the freeway all the way to the far west side. So basically we kind of like engulf like the middle of LA, that culture. Like you hear about Compton and Watts, they're one way, you hear about the Inglewood, and all, we're kind of like in the middle of all that. You feel me?
Got you. Thanks
But to say this though, I'm from Leimert Park though. Like my hood is giant. So the part of the hood, the part of my hood that I'm from is Leimert Park specifically, which is a very important part of LA culturally. I know it's gang and all that, but my hood just happened to be there when it comes to Leimert Park. Like, okay, yeah, we're there, but even we respect Leimert Park. Like it's like a no beefing zone right there. I mean, it's still crack, but you know what I mean? Like we let the people come in. It's African trade markets, African drums. Everybody out there selling. people like Rizza Islam, it's Dr. Umar. They just walk through on a random. It's beautiful, bro. We used to have a freestyle fellowship out there. That's where the Diggable Plans came up out of, Exhibit, all that, bro. So it's some real history, the part of the hood I'm from.
So very African centric.
Yeah, exactly.
Got you.
So break down your hood a little bit more. Like what's the vibe like out there? Like, aside, we always hear about the gangs and all that in all of these different states, and I didn't really want to make that the highlight of today's podcast, because I know it's more to our people than just that. You know what I'm saying? So in that area in particular, is it like a Harlem? Because you know how Harlem is. Harlem is like Black Mecca, so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's exactly what it is. This man. I'm so glad you said it like that, because I did the interview. Shout out to Cinna Mills. I did an interview with Cinna Mills where I was like, I'm gonna give you the 3 Meccas as I see it. I said for the Midwest, D Mecca, Detroit, right? For the East, Mecca, like we already know, right? Which is not just because the guys in the nation, but Harlem is the Black Mecca. Going
Right.
to it be for X, whether it be for Garvey, whether it be, you know what I mean? We can go on and on. Whether it be on some street shit, the Purple City, Bumpy Johnson, all right.
Yeah.
But then for the West, right? Which people know, because it's not even so much about it being spoke on. It's like if I could take a camera and show you, or when you go through my stuff, you'll probably know this now. Like, oh yeah, he's always in this place called Leimert. You see all the art on the wall. You see the homies there at the same time. You see parts of 4 Extras video at Leimert. So it's like it is the Black Mecca in LA. I can show you so many movies where you see like a predominantly Black park and it don't look all run down like most of the gang parks you see in LA. They probably at Leimert. Feel me? Moesha, Leimert Park. Remember Girlfriends. Remember they had all the Black UP and all that? Leimert Park. Love and Basketball. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah, black influency in Baldwin Hills. You come down from there, you get more like a part of Nipsey Hood, the 60s, but that part that's called Overhills, because we go by the numbers. So the part that's called Overhills is like going up towards that. So in my side in the 40s, the part that's called the Avenues is where all that Black affluency begins at. That's why it's like the butt end between like where the gangs and like the jazz musician dude house. This is where that kind of like blends in right there, right? And so yeah, bro, brothers and sisters own all the stores there. You can go down there and get real fruit, real vegetables. You can learn a lot. You can get, that's where I got all this copper and all this from. You know what I'm saying? I got my line, the Black Illuminati. You know what I mean? I can go right down there and sell. You know what I'm saying? It even helps economically. You don't got to to be real with you. I built this whole Crip Jesus thing off of Leimert. Beyond the fact that I'm from Leimert, this part my personality, that was the first nucleus of people that would even take that seriously. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay, that's peace. So, Mike, you got any questions?
No, it's beautiful. I'm just listening.
All right. So now, how did you get into being at Leimert? I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but Leimert Park? Leimert.
Yeah. You ever heard of a rapper named Dom Kennedy?
Yeah.
He called himself the Leimert Park legend. So he won.
Okay. All right. Dope.
Diggable Planets, they from out the way. Black Eyed Peas, they started Leimert.
Wow. So being that Leimert is what it is as far as like the Black Mecca in the West Coast, how do you balance the other side of the culture though? Like how is that dealt with?
Well, what makes it crazy is that, and I'm so glad this conversation is going in this order, because I rarely get to explain it in this way. So that part of my personality is natural because I grew up in Leimert Park, and also the Crip part. I'm from right there. You get what I'm saying? I think it's not like I'm from a hood that's somewhere else and I live right there. Like, you get what I'm saying? I'm from the Crips right there. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm from 40s right there. So it's like that's part of my personality. You get what I'm saying? Like there's people that come to Leimert that don't necessarily live right there. If you get what I'm saying, it's a center. So if it makes sense, like the weed dude in Leimert is a dude that helped raise me. You get what I'm saying? The hustler in Leimert is a dude that helped raise me. Yeah, there's the store owner there too. You get what I'm saying? Like, I lived in Leimert, but I wasn't born and raised in Leimert. If you get what I'm trying to say, we moved to Leimert when I was about 6 or 7, somewhere up in there. You know what I mean? So my mom, how do I explain it? Like basically what I'm trying to say is you have different elements there, right? So I didn't come from like an affluent family that owned a home in Leimert and died. You know what I'm saying? I come from the struggle and all that. My mom got married, we moved to Leimert.
Right.
So we brought that mentality to Leimert, if that makes sense. Like that's why I tell people like it's hard for dudes to convince me with that whole environment thing and all that, because I'm like, it's true to a degree, but who you are within your environment is gonna always be a determining factor. So
That's a fact.
it's like we brought us and I know that from experiencing it backwards. We brought a poor hood mentality to the hood. Does that even make sense? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. It's like, that's my hood, but where we came from was rougher than that. We brought a mentality to Leimert Park that basically attracted us to the hustlers and the wrongdoers and the misfits in Leimert.
Okay, so where were you before Leimert?
Shit, we was all over. You know what I mean? My grandma in the 30 ass. We used to move around. My grandpa and them in the hundreds. You feel what I'm saying? We stayed like downtown, sometime like in Hollywood. Like, we moved all around before she got married, and we settled there. And I was basically raised there. You feel what I'm saying? But before that, we kind of had like nothing. You know what I mean? So we brought that mentality there to where the people in the area that were similar is who we gravitated towards.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Because even though my hood is real big, so there are parts of the hood that's exactly like how 4Xers described it. So I'm just talking about my specific blocks. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And where I stay at, it's people there that's hood, but it's a mixture. It's people there that own the homes. It's people there that own that jazz studio right there. You feel what I'm saying? And you kind of pick and choose where you're gonna fall in line. So what I'm saying is, a lot of us that ended up gang banging in that area, a lot of us had ties to, rougher parts of the city and the hood and all that, and kind of brought the mentality over there. Because Leimert Park, for the most part, is like you said, Afrocentric, more like the Nipsey Hussle type of vibe. I'm gonna tell you something. Leimert Park for me is extremely important because I joined the 5% Nation of Guys and Earth while I was in prison. And being that I grew up at Leimert, it made me feel like I was doing nothing out the ordinary or uncomfortable getting out and going back to Leimert and clicking up with the guys. So Leimert is the center for the guys in LA. You know what I mean? So
I have a question for that. You mentioned that your people brought that element out there, like, your background. Were your people involved in the streets as well? You gotta get in full detail, but like running numbers.
No. I just want to give you an honest answer. So on my dad's side, right? My dad, I'm gonna give you an honest answer. If I brought my dad on this show, he would say he was involved in the streets. I would tell him, get the fuck out of here. Because I'm Crip Jesus. I done hopped off planes swinging carbon fit tees and shit. I don't know. It's like the shit he gonna talk about, I don't know. So it's like, I feel like everybody have their different degree or level to how they understand it within their, framework of their time. So I would say no, because I don't know my father to have no ties I'm aware of, but he tells his little stories or whatever. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I've gone as far as to be initiating something, done 15 years in prison, stuff like that. So I wouldn't consider my father being a street person, but my dad's side of the family is big, bro. And you best believe I got gangster uncles and all of that. So I can't take that away from him. You get what I'm saying? So that same mentality I'm talking about, I guess, to a degree. I would say for me personally, though, God, just being 100 with the crowd and not holding nothing back, so they can understand, we all come from these different places. I'm like the average, brother. I was raised mostly by my mother, and so when I say we brought the element over here, I'm talking about my mom and us. My dad didn't come over there with us. My dad ain't never lived in Leimert Park a day in his life. So But I answered it that way in a reason. So I'm still talking about my mentality, that. So on my mom's side, my mom, like from the streets. How do I explain it, bro? Like when we say streets, a lot of us mean like gangs or crime. Yeah. And I don't know my mom to be like coming from some crime family or crime, you know what I mean? Like that. But she for sure was like, my mom's parents died when she was young. She was giving up at birth. You feel what I'm saying? So she didn't really have nobody. So she was sure was outside. She was sure was, getting her hands into whatever, you know what I mean? And my mom, when she got married and we came over there, she was getting high. So it was like, and that being like right up the street from the hood, that you get what I'm trying to say now? Like we turned the block out. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's coming over here to hang out. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when you bring that element, it don't matter where you at. That's why a lot of these rappers and celebrities that we look up to, a lot of them is just trap houses in the middle of a suburb.
Got you. Damn, that's real.
So now, when you got put on, let's talk about that. When you got put onto a hood, what age were you at that time?
So when I first I joined the clique, and that's when I was 15. Then I got put on the hood when I was 16, going to 17. And then right when I got put on, I caught my case like a few weeks after I was just turned 17. And I was in prison all the way till 30.
Damn. Okay. Wow. All right.
Ooh.
There's a whole bunch of history.
Yeah.
In that. I don't know if we want to unpack that on this show.
Yeah, man.
It's up to you. But maybe we could do that another time. But I would like to know about that experience, like going into prison at 17 years old. I mean, what was that like? I mean, that was your first bid, right?
Yeah, so I caught the case at 17. I fought it. I was trying to get tried as a juvenile. They wanted to try me as an adult, and they ended up winning and trying me as an adult. And that took about a year. They did that on purpose because they see I was going to turn 18. So by the time they tried me as an adult, I was 18 anyway. It's just that the charge happened when I was 17. It's a play. So after that, they sentenced me and sent me up the way at 18. So yeah, I was in the prison. I was in the prison at 18 with a 15-year sentence. But I basically gave up. It was like, that's why, the Crip Jesus thing is incredible, because like I break down in the book, I got my book, the Blue Bible.
Blue Bible.
I hear that basically all the information I got, it's not that I'm trying to endorse gangs or prisons or no shit like that. I'm showing that Allah has seen and heard in all worlds. So when they glamorize this crap to you, I can tell you from firsthand experience, even within that world, the only ones that made it is those that was righteous, those that was on their square, and those that understood knowledge of self. You feel what I'm saying? So that's where I got knowledge of self, from the prisoners, from the fellow jailsmen, from the gang bangers who've seen, you 5% now. All right. You a Stone, we beef, Crips and Stone Bloods, but
wait, we gotta back up. We gotta back up, because this is a lot right here. So hold on. You get, so when you got put on in the hood, right? I don't know how it goes, because my whole life, well, practically my whole life, I've been into these teachings, right?
Yeah.
So 16 years old, I joined the 5% Nation, right? So PCU. Now, when you got put onto the hood, what was it like? Did you have to scrap? You had to fight a couple people? How did that go down?
Well, that's a good one, right?
You gotta fight. Okay. You gotta fight a group of people. Yeah.
Now I know now in New York, there's a lot of Bloods and things like that. So we're familiar with the blood culture where they have to fight like 31 seconds.
31 seconds. The Crips too. 60 seconds out here.
No, it's not a set time. That's just, each hood got its different time. None of this stuff is professional, how they want to paint it on these documentaries or how even people explain it. It's all just a bunch of people making up stuff. You got some people that call themselves Bloods that go for this many seconds, go for that many seconds. Then you got some dude come over here, there's some smoker dude that dropped out of school and now he want to feel like he got power, so you got him a group of teenagers and say, now it's 18 seconds or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you'd be surprised, bro. Like when you go behind the scenes, it's like, oh yeah, it's 31 seconds, but we got into it with them, so we changed it to 29 seconds. And it's just a bunch of like in LA, it's none of that. You don't do any of that because right here it's real. So your gang is like your family, basically. Like it's where you grew up and stuff. Like you get what I'm saying? It's not that would be like silly to us. Like you got certain Mexican like gang rules where they might be like you getting the DP for this many seconds. The Mexicans more do that. Like we have stuff like that, but it's not like that's like a formality. Like you just finna get your ass whipped. All right. Like you might be known in the area. Dudes might be scared of you. You might not have to do that much. You might be not known at all. And we finna whoop your ass. And then you finna come back tomorrow and be like, I'm whoop-de-whoop. And they be like, who the fuck is you? I ain't never seen you. And get your ass whooped again. It's real in LA. I don't got nothing. We might whoop your ass. You're not even from the hood. See, that's all that like professional stuff. Gangbanging is not real like that. It's just a bunch of niggas. Right, bro. Like I've seen dudes get whooped. Okay, look at this. I might hurt people's feelings, but I'm gonna go this far. Was Nipsey from 60s? Yeah, right. But who killed him? Okay, right. My point exactly. So it's like it's not even real, bro. Who hated him the most? Who had the most problems with him?
Right. Interesting.
I thought it goes this way. Like, come on, bro. Like it's not real.
Unpredictable. It's unpredictable.
Yeah.
It's unpredictable.
No, actually, it's predictable. You go in your hood with a bunch of people that's into lower self and into the bottom and into the trash, and you show them higher self and goodness, and you don't stand on that all the way. You kind of flip flop with it and tinker with it, or you start giving your zakat to them while they doing their evil deeds and all that stuff they doing with it. Nah, bro. I hate to stand firm like that, but I got to because that's why I'm still here, bro.
You know what?
I just told you I did 15 years in California prison, bro. I told you I did 15 years in California prison, bro. I don't got a scratch on me. It ain't because I'm the hardest, toughest. It ain't because I'm the biggest killer. It's because, bro, Allah has seen and heard in all worlds. I didn't go in there and say, I dropped my flag. I'm Muslim now. That's what they want. That's what they want my story to be. That's why the homies hate me. They want me to come out here and say, yeah, I had dropped my flag and say I'm Muslim. No. Because y'all shit fake anyway. So even when I came and said, I don't care, I still knew all of y'all. I'm really from the hood. So what I'm going to say, oh, if somebody do something to you, I'm not going to participate. Yeah, you still the homie. That shit you talking is retarded. I'll tell you to your face. See, here's the thing. Everybody's in. See, the same thing that happened with y'all with colors in the movies. It happened out here too, bro. Yeah. It happened out here too. While we was getting gentrified, it was dudes driving in from other cities, joining our hoods, all that, bro. It's so fake. Half these hoods are fake. Bro, LA dudes don't like when I get to talking to real. Half these videos are super fake. They call each other and say, meet me on this block. And they all stand there and act like they all pollute, like they all like super deep in the hood. Then when they drive off, it'd be like two niggas. Nobody even live there. Like, can you quiet down out there, please?
So check it out. So now, there's no kind of like format, so to speak, with getting put on. You just get your ass whipped.
No. It depends on each group. That's what I was saying.
Okay.
Of course, each group is going to set their format. Like we the 40s, you're going to get put on. You got to get put on by at least 4 people. But I can tell you dudes from my hood that got put on by 1 or 2 people because his cousin was popular. You know what I'm saying? Like the format is you don't know no better. But behind closed doors, the family members who really run the hood, we do what we want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So in other states, it probably ain't got to that level yet. But it has though, because I've kicked it in other states. Other states is actually way looser. I'm gonna keep it real. When you go out to New York, and I'll say it on the show, a lot of them dudes ain't never got put on. They lying. I walked right up to dudes in New York and New Jersey and slapped them and said, you ain't get put on. And see them sit right there. Like, not saying, let me calm down. Not to say like that's a New York, New Jersey thing. I'm just saying I've experienced that in them spaces, right? Because my dudes out in New York and New Jersey rock out. I'm not saying like that. I'm saying like I've seen that even out here too, though. But I'm saying I've seen that like this stuff is fake, bro. And the more popular it gets on TV and the internet, the more people are walking around emulating it.
Right.
Even the real ones. As crazy that may sound. But people, I'm saying, if your little nephew who you seen play the computer and nerds every day he met some random dude said, yeah, we're Bloods. And now he let them punch on him. And now he come back and say, hey, uncle, I'm a Blood. You like, man, if you don't like it really, if you wasn't born into that or grew up with that, it's all just TV. And even if you grew up with it, it's just some brain manipulation. That ain't really what you is. So it's like,
hold on. I like that. Now, so we went from that part, right? Getting put on. You went to prison. Now, who did you meet as far as the 5% Nation?
Yeah, so my journey in prison was real, like, I hate to use this terminology, but spooky in how it came about. So, you know, God, all them years of being a natural born God, I never knew what was even being spoken about. I'm not trying to drag the answer out, but I'm just trying to give it to you all the way, right? So, like I told you, my brother was born in 77. He spinned on the cardboard. He did the graffiti. He had the purple tape. Oh, that's when we was talking off camera. But remember, I told you,
right.
like when you was talking about different West Coast, you know, old music was I rocking. I was like, man, but I was, you know, yeah, because it's hip hop, but also there was West Coast underground lyrical hip hop back then. DJ Muggs, Soul Assassins.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Ras Kass, Diggable Planets. So
Ras Kass, a legend,
so
right?
my brother had me listening to all that, right? So damn, what was the question again?
So how did you get to the 5% Nation in prison?
Okay, part self. Yeah.
Who did you meet? Who did you meet?
So part self. I had been exposed to the lingo. You get what I'm saying? Like when it finally came to me, it clicked. Like, oh yeah. So even when I was in my teens, I remember one time my mom's brought a guy to the house. I ain't had knowledge of self. She brought him in the house and he had the jacket. And he wanted me to wear the jacket because I used to be rapping. And she was like, yeah, you can wear the jacket. I was like, man, what's this symbol on the back? Like, what's that? Like, oh, this ain't FUBU. This ain't Nietzsche. This ain't, you know what I'm saying? He was finna explain to me what it meant. She stopped him. Whereas Bond, she stopped him. Like, he ain't ready for that. Like, what? So when I saw the symbol later, it all came to me like, what? And I had a book called God's Earth's 85ers. I was in prison. And where was I at when I got that? CMC. And from there, I went to Salinas Valley. And at Salinas Valley, one of the homies from 30s, from Harlem Crip, saw the book and said, oh, you mess with that? And I'm like, yeah, I know what's up. He like, you know Math Mags? And I'm like, I just like, yeah. And he like, I mean, come to class. So they had a class at Salinas Valley. A guy named Born Allah. Not the Born Allah that everybody mostly know. But
so let me interject real quick because I want to, because I got to get this off. So would you say a lot of the 5%ers or some were affiliated before getting into the teachings? Well, affiliated with a gang before getting into the teachings of the 5%. So would you see more Crips and Bloods who would fly the universal flag?
Depending on the era. So the further back, the more. Does that make sense? Like when I meet all the firstborn and all of them, they damn near always in gangs. Then you meet like the dudes from like the 80s and the 90s, like majority. Then like now that we in the 2000s, it's kind of like a hit and miss thing. Like you may meet somebody who was gang. They all come from like the streets as far as like, you know, the poverty or just knowing what's up or whatever. You got some that, you know, but now it's more of a mixed bag. Some people are like hip hop fans. Some people are just knowledge seekers. They may even came from an affluent family and know all type of stuff and heard about the gods because we've really been putting in the work. So, you know, you get different crowds now. But for sure, like all my OGs, like shout out, you know what I mean? Allah Dominate. Shout out, you know, Black Knowledge. You know, shout out a Free Bar. You know what I mean? Like all of them, like, yeah, you know what I mean? Minister Freedom, all of them, you know, Knowledge Born, all of them, they come from, you know, certain elements. But I'm gonna keep it real though, bro. Like me being Crip Jesus, once again, is like it's hard for me to answer the type of questions because I'm biased. It's like, you know, I see the streets as like you got to be all the way in. You know, I look at it like everybody kind of in the streets. You know.
So can I ask a question? So you, from your perspective, and correct me if I'm wrong, you seeing the streets as a myth?
Say that again.
Do you see the streets as a myth? to a certain
The
degree.
streets are real. I'm talking about the what's that thing we was talking, the whole little gang
affiliation.
All right,
yeah,
correct.
no, the gang rules and gang formalities. Like, no, these
Right.
are just dudes making up stuff.
And one more question. You mentioned about, back then, I know a lot of people were influenced by the nation's teaching. You had the Rakims. You had Rakim at the time and Big Daddy Kane. They used to see the symbol in his videos and stuff like that. So you think that that's where majority of them got the influence from? Or that they were exposed to some of the information due to the Nation of Islam being out there, which branch off into other information for them?
Nah, hell no. No, what happened was Father Allah, peace and blessings upon him, left the Nation of Islam in what was that, 1964, and he started the nation in 65. So basically he went out and taught. He used mathematics. I used the same mathematics the father used. So he taught born students and told all of them, you got to teach born students. So what that happens is, for those that's listening that don't know what born is, that's 9. So what happens is, when you teach 9 people, that's 10 people. Now you ain't teaching 9 people and being quiet all day. So automatically the 10 of y'all building is attracting all type of people. Then if they really stay on their square and all go out and teach born people, that's 9 more 10 people ciphers. That multiplies fast. So what happened is, when he laid that script down and they followed that while he was in Medawan teaching everybody in the prisons, that built the foundation of what would be the 5% nation, which is still the true foundation. Yeah, you see a lot of people on TV and walking around claiming they gods, but when you really
wait, Paul, man, I want to just address the chat real quick. So I don't know if you said the nation was born in 65. I'm not
64.
sure.
It's 64.
It's 64.
October. Yeah, October 64.
Yeah, but I think this guy said something about 65.
Anyway. No, I did say 65. Well, I said 64, then I said he was born and started 65. I threw that in there as well. But my point was that I said he left the Nation of Islam in 64, and Nation was born in 65. But then I said October. So October 64 is when the nation was born, right? Pardon me if I'm, what I mean. But what I'm saying is, he left the NOI because the brother mentioned, he said, do I believe it's because, let's keep it in context, do I believe it's because the NOI is present or because of Rakim's and hip hop's presence?
Exactly. That's what I said.
No. The fact, let me, if y'all don't mind, not to even plug, but just to keep it knowledge, but keep it on my script, right?
Plug your
Let me read out the Blue Bible, right? Y'all tap in with me to blackilluminati.com. This is how I feel about that question. Page 74, the Blue Bible. I did not discover these mysteries via YouTube or Google. They were revealed to me while studying the 120 lessons. The lessons were passed down to us by Allah the Father, who was initiated at the Nation of Islam's Temple number 7 in Harlem, New York, under the authority of Malcolm X, student of Elijah Muhammad, leader of the Nation of Islam. Elijah's son, Warith Deen Muhammad, took over the nation in 1975. He terminated the lessons and the name Nation of Islam. It was Allah's 5% nation that carried on the tradition of the lessons in New York and introduced them to hip-hop artists like Rakim and Wu-Tang during the 1980s. So the gods taught them. You know what I'm saying? Like they really kind of, I mean, I love them, but they kind of mixed it up later on and made it to where now we like, you got niggas talking about they drip god and, coke god and all that. But the gods, the peer is where he was the moon reflecting the light of the sun. You feel what I'm saying? So
now, before you go into that, now I want to ask this question, because this question right here is probably the most important question when it pertains to the 5% nation. Who were the first non-born in your area, and who was your educator, and what is your educator's root, or what's your root?
So my educator in prison, I was saying he was born, but when I got out, got an official tree, my educator is Allah Dominic, right?
Okay.
Whose educator is, if I'm not mistaken, Just Life, who's go back to Medina, right? But he's under Just Life, and them are under the firstborn out here, who I don't know all their names, but I know it's Born, Just Life. You got I believe My King. You got damn, I gotta line that up. But yeah, it's a because our firstborn is a little different. You get what I'm trying to say? Like LA was so dry. Like our firstborn started off with like understanding guys. Then you know what I mean. More came later. It kind of built throughout the years.
Makes sense. That makes sense. So your root comes from Medina. So that means that you have culture without freedom. You have power without refinement.
Well, the beauty with me is I'm like a little weirder of the story because I have roots in Medina, but like I told you, I did 15 years in prison. I didn't even know the nation was going in. So by the time I got out, the guys that's from Medina that taught Just Life in them and came out here and laid down the foundation, it was with, you know, my enlightener. I wasn't around for that. So my Medina stories is still real though. I went out to Medina myself, you know what I'm saying, God, and tapped in with Black knowledge and Allah born before he returned and all that, and went to Mecca myself and all that. So I got my, you know, and that's my educator, you know, G-Body, he made sure I did that. He was like, bro, it's cool to be rooted, but you got to go experience it yourself if you really want to understand these lessons. You know what I mean? So you kind of get what I'm saying? So it's like I have that connection, but when I speak on Medina and I talk about certain guys, it's really like the ones I walked with because, you know what I mean? Like I done been on, you know what I mean? I done been on Bed-Stuy and all that with Black knowledge in them, you know?
Now, the great answer. Now, this right here, I thought this was important because early on, this is where I was trying to get at. Because one thing I do know is if you're born in a culture since a child, and then you pick up another culture, it's like you can't really get rid of who you are. So this brother right here says, PSA, either you true and living or not, you can't be blood/Crip in God. How do you see that?
Yeah, you're right. I am true and living. I don't see what I see is somebody caught up in titles. You feel what I'm saying? Like the guys know me. It'd be different if I was just somebody getting up on here that you just wanted to interview. You ain't put me up here for no reason. So it's like everybody know what I'm on. Crip Jesus is being presented to the world with an EIN number under it, and all that for over 5 years. And it ain't one person that's been a student of mine that turned a gangbanger. You feel what I'm saying? I got students that did I got students that wrote books. I got students that made, you know, music, mixing this gangster lingo with this God body lingo and breaking a new paradigm. You feel what I'm saying? Really, I see it as jealousy, you know what I mean? With a lot of the guys, you know what I mean? A lot of guys, you know what I mean, be mad. You know, I'm gonna keep it real. I never spoke on this live, right? It was guys calling up there to the school making threats when I went up there to interview with Inf Mega. Like, because they were trying to gangbang, because you know, a lot of the guys in New York was Bloods, and they still secretly be keeping their affiliations. But what's wrong with that? So what? Y'all don't know out here in LA, we ain't even tripping off that. You living off of TV, but you claiming you God though. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. You feel me? So the whole point of why Allah chose me, you feel what I'm saying? My arm, legs, and heads chose me to go and do this mission is I'm the only person I know. And even my enlightener will tell you, you know what I mean? Who else didn't walk through all them chambers? I didn't learn about the Moors because I said, oh, I like Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I want to hear about this stuff. I was in prison spitting the 120. I already had my born fruit in prison, walking, hitting laps with me. And all the Bloods is like, man. So they start coming down with their paperwork, revealing us what they own. They telling us the stone stuff because they respect us as real, true, and living guys. They hearing Shabazz, they hearing Asiatic. They like, yeah. But you wouldn't know that unless you get what I'm saying? It's like you couldn't go up to a Sunni Muslim and talk about certain stuff unless he see you a certain way. Everybody had their own initiation. Even if you a Blood, if I'm a Crip and I know you a Blood, I'll have a certain gang conversation with you I wouldn't have with it. You get what I'm saying? So it's right. So if I meet one of the brothers who say they Kemetic, or you 5%, yeah, we gods. We have a long conversation as being gods. We talk about different health things and different how we see women and how they dress. Yes, brother. See, the thing is, how in 2025 these Negroes, black and colored, want to keep these divisions up. Everybody want to say, this my follower. I follow Father Allah.
That's it.
Oh, I follow Elijah Muhammad. Oh, I follow Prophet. Bro, that was 100 years ago. All them groups were saying the same thing. You on Google now, bro. All them groups were saying the same thing, man. Stop that sound goofy, man.
Respect. That's brother. People are so stuck on titles, they so divided. I said it's one house with many different rooms. We all seeking knowledge and light. So
Hey,
why
you
the
know what's
division?
wrong about that, brother? And I don't know who he is. I don't want to be disrespectful, but I've traveled through all four corners of the nation as my enlightener made me, right? I've met Crip gods. Yes. Gods who hang in Crip neighborhoods and make sure stuff goes straight, and make sure, and teach and all that. I've met blood gods. Yes. Gods that come from the blood nation who are still respected by the Bloods, who still go to funerals and wear their little red rags and got sons from the gang and all that, and give them money and say, stop doing this and stop doing that. You want to think that everybody from the gang is like the TV character. That's
hold on. I think Rashan Allah, God body, you use that. Now, I don't have a problem with the God body terminology, but from what I learned, for what I know, I could be wrong. God body is a terminology that came from prison. The 5% nation at a certain point wasn't really using that like that. And that's not really used loosely. Well, that is used loosely. That's not like a part of the lingo, so to speak, among the 5% of the true and living gods and earths. People mention it. People mention
it's
it.
the best episode. Hey, hold on. Hey, where's Banda Allah? This was meant to happen right now. What you just said, you said God body is not part of our terminology. I got the original God body. I don't know if he want to be on the phone. I got the original God body on the phone right here. Now, he's not the original God body. He's the original G body. But it's an error thing. It's an error thing. No, we know Rasul Allah. Tell him, God, we personally know Rasul Allah. Ain't no beef. Huh?
Oh, you know him. You know that brother.
No, the God know him. Allah dominant.
Oh, okay.
I know the God. That's the old God. To my right man, Supreme 7 Allah.
Yeah. This is my enlightener. Allah dominant.
Yeah, I know the God.
Peace, God. Nah,
this is somebody. The phone kind of low.
This is matter
of fact, I'm going to call you on this other phone, guys, so you be louder. You mind getting on the interview? He asked me about the God body terminology. Give him some history.
He said he don't know. That's why I said Nah.
No, listen. What you're saying is right. But here's the thing: we never got a response from the actual God body people. It's always the gods, and they say they don't exist. We don't recognize it. It'd be some older gods, and we're not stupid out here. We know we got cousins and uncles and people walking all through our hood saying God body. Where they come from? So here's the thing: in that 90s era, let's keep it real. I'm Crip Jesus. So in the 90s era, when you had your Nas and AZs and dudes riding down the street in they Lexus selling crack, saying peace, God, some of them don't even got 120. Some of them ain't even official nation. But they all deal with somebody that is. This is the God body type of right. We're not gonna lie, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was loosely used back in the days in the 90s.
No, I'm about to show you something,
rap lingo and all that. Yeah.
No, I'm about to show you something, God. Them kids grew up. Yeah, that uncle that sold crack, his little nephews that he taught, they grew up. What you gonna tell them? They ain't street? You gonna tell them they ain't God? They look up to their uncle, the God body dude that came out of prison.
Yeah, I hear you. So
what happened is the God body thing is real, bro. And we talked to Rasul and he said, no, I get it. But we respect what he said. He said, I'm just giving the true history. That's not the original lexicon.
Right.
It is a street prison thing. But the trick is we want to act like the gods ain't in the streets and prisons. Ain't we the gods ourselves? Ain't the majority of us in the streets? Yes. This is a thing. This is real.
I wouldn't say the majority.
Okay, my bad. Pardon self. But the majority of the street people have found themselves caught in prisons and gangs and things of that nature.
Okay.
And being that the 5% are the gods that's set to the side to be the Maliks and raise us out of the hells and teaching the pits of hell, right? I'm saying I could never get an initiation that's recognized on the streets as official in prison from any other group but the 5%. And for it to actually be official, where you can actually pull me to the side, ask me my enlightener, ask me the questions, you get what I'm saying? Like, no. So this system was put together for us. Father Allah suffered for taking it out the temple and doing what he did for us. That's my Jesus. That's my Crip Jesus.
For sure. But I didn't want to go on a tangent about the God body terminology, but I'm just doing the knowledge to this brother and the way he is, his manner in which he is in the chat. You know what I'm saying? So but let's move on to you calling the brother again?
Well, let's see if you pick up. If not, we move on. Peace, guys. I just want to make sure your voice was clear. The other phone was quiet. So, like, you know, I went on one. I don't want to go on too much of a tangent, but they just asking about the G body. Well, let them speak for themselves. What was y'all saying again?
So what I was saying was the brother said gangster lingo with God body lingo. And then when he said God body, I said, well, hold on. I just picked up on that. God body is not a terminology. It's like loosely used in the nation. It's not like a main thing, a mainstay in a culture where this is a language that is used constantly with everybody, with the majority. That's what I was saying.
Okay. I can see that. I mean, I'm not in disagreement with that.
Okay. Okay.
I will say this, because blood brings rain, hailstorm, and earthquakes, you know. This is a terminology in which, when I came to the East Coast, this is a terminology that 85ers use to describe what a 5%er was.
Come on.
They didn't know to say nation of gods of earth or nation of 5%. So they say, oh, I'm from LA, telling them I'm God. Oh, you God body. So I took that term and coined it. So there's a whole lot of brothers in the nation that use that. Matter of fact, my name is Big G Body. I'm Big God Body. And I'm 120. I can take anybody through it. Allah said, let me tell you something. I argued with the old God about 12 Jews. He told me don't use the 12 Jews. God bless his soul before he passed away. And he wrote a whole degree on why the 12 Jews wasn't right and exact. And some brothers use it, some don't. But this is still terminology in which brothers in the nation use.
Me personally, I love it. I love the 12 Jews.
That walked with the Father, it told me don't use the 12 Jews. See, one thing Allah taught, Allah said that we can't be scared to join other people's organizations and create our own organization. So this God body thing is an organization that I've made, not a nation outside my own, but an organization.
All right, so you hold on, God. Hold on. I don't know if the God can hear me.
I'm gonna keep it real. When I was in New York, the guys that did call themselves God body, they didn't know 120. I never met a God in New York that agreed with that term and knew 120.
Yeah.
But I coined it. I'm 120. Everybody around me is 120. They coined it, and the 85ers love it. They understand it. Even in LA, might be like, nigga, I'm God body. They be like, oh, you a 5%er like Brand Nubians and stuff like that. When I tell them, yo, I'm the nation of gods and earth, so I'm a 5%er, it don't click to them.
Wait, hold on, God.
Hold on, God.
I don't know if he can hear me, but now you said this brother Rosh son-in-law, the 12 Jews is not right and exact.
No, he said it is right and exact, God. He said
the 12, I see it now. I see it. The 12 Jews is right and exact. It's in 120.
No, they in the 120. They in the 120.
Yeah, they are. But now look, but because I don't want to, because we only got 10 minutes, God. Call me.
All right.
We only got 10 minutes.
You know, I understand. I bear in mind that it's not a coined term so far as, you know, amongst the gods, but it's a coined term. It's a word that's used.
That's for sure. That's a fact. That's a fact.
The gods or the 85ers using it. It's still a coined word. When somebody in New York hear that peace God and they older, they go, that's in God bodies.
Right.
So
Indeed.
this is a term that's applied to us, whether I'm using it or an 85er using it.
That's a fact.
I want to say for me being under Allah dominant, for me coming from the streets originally, that's what I was one of them people who understood it as God body.
Gotcha.
So to grow up later and be the real version of that, I feel like I got my last video is called God, Body, and Soul. And when you listen to it, the first line is, as I remain conscious on this 24,896 mile circumference. It's a lot of dudes who will argue with me about God body who don't know that degree. I opened the verse up with a degree. I'm showing, bro, we not playing with it over here. We got that. But we saying to that God body street dynamic, we know them. We know them personally. And we here to teach them.
Right, indeed. So we gonna Yo, God, hold on 1 second. We're gonna build on that. We only got 10 minutes. I want to go into how did you get from the 5% teachings into Moorish science before we cut out?
So really that goes back to what I was saying earlier. There's no division between these specific groups. If you're really out here in these circles, y'all could call it Afrocentric, conscious, whatever, you're going to see the Nation of Islam, You're going to see the 5% nation. You're going to see the nation of gods and earths. You're going to see the Moorish Science Temple of America. You're for sure going to see some Rastas. And everybody else may come and go. But these 5 things are like our religions based on almost geography, less than it has to do with the different teachings or much. It's kind of like where you were at. So me being in the streets and in the prisons, I'm going to say it again. There was no other group that I could be officially initiated into being a conscious brother in prison except the 5% anyway. But when I was being initiated doing my 120, we learned about Haile Selassie. We learned about Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So I had to say, when it says, why did we bring Columbus, half original man Columbus to this poor part of planet Earth? That I knew that those were the Nino brothers and the Moors that brought them. You get what I'm saying? That's my enlightener shows me that. You get what I'm saying? When me and Dominic are talking about, why do we take the devil, you know what I'm saying, off this part of the earth, we go into that historically, into what war went down in Yemen. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I first came across that. Now, as far as the organization, I was literally driving down Normandy Avenue in South Central and saw a temple on 87th and Normandy. You know what I mean? Then I went to D Mecca with the guy.
Wait, hold on. Before you go there, what faction? C. Kirkman Bay or Milieu?
No, neither.
Neither.
It's Kinu Umar Bey, Unity Temple.
King. Oh, okay. So I'm thinking about somebody else. So Unity Temple. I forgot what faction that was though. But okay, so you went into that. So you got your nationality card. You proclaimed your nationality with them brothers. How long did it take you to get a nationality card in that faction?
No, you get your card as soon as you proclaim.
Really?
It's the same. As soon as you proclaim, though, I'm saying, like, you don't get it like as soon as you walk in. I'm saying as soon as you whenever you decide to proclaim, you get your card.
Right. So so you didn't walk in there on the first day and say, "Hey, I'm a Moor. I'm proclaiming my nationality." Okay.
Well, so no, see, that's what I mean. That's why I say I'm the chosen one. I thought we were Moors already. I never knew until recently that there was an argument amongst our people that they were Moors. And I never knew that. Like when I was a kid, I was watching a movie by Martin Lawrence with my dad called Black Knight, and they kept calling him a Moor all through the movie. My dad looked back at me and said, "You know what that means?" I said, "No." He said, "It means black people." Now later on, I learned about the science of the word black, but all my life I thought Moor meant black people. When I would hear stories randomly in a TV show or something about Moors, I thought they talk about black people. I just learned now. I was like, no, the Moors, the gods, yeah, you're a Moor. That shit be blowing my mind. Like when I be hearing people, like, I'm not a Moor, I'm a Asiatic Egyptian. I'd be like,
Yo, we need some gunshots for that.
Even the guys be getting mad. I'd be like, I thought we was the toughest Moors. I thought we was the God body niggas. I thought we was the scientists that taught the white man and all that. They don't count them more. And I'd be like, these dudes is tripping. See, one thing about the brother we just had on the phone, right? He's the most important part of the glue because, like he said, he admitted it. He didn't go fake and say, yeah. He said, it's the street. He said, those dudes didn't even have 120. We coined the term. So it's the same thing with the Moors, bro. When you out here and you dealing with Asiatics and you out here really moving around, you're not gonna not run into the Moors. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna not. You know what I mean? So it's like either you deal with it or you don't.
Indeed. So you didn't really go through a temple and like sit in the temple for Fridays and Sundays.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I'm just saying I didn't proclaim right away.
Okay.
So basically, I'm gonna keep it to you raw and uncut. We ain't even gonna play up here. So as it says in the book, I was fresh out. I was still knee deep in the streets. I was still, you know what I mean? But I was like this. I was in prison doing this. So I wasn't gonna just be fake, like, okay, I'm in the streets, I'm lost, I'm running around now, but I'm still the guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I still go on Fridays and send out mail to my students in prison. I still got fruit. See, that's the beauty of the 5% Nation of Guys and Earths. It's like something about it, like you could be full-fledged in the streets and still teaching. Like even if you know what I mean? It's something about they put that obligation on us. So I was full-fledged, like trapped out. You can hear the first songs I was making. Like I was, you know what I mean? But I was still teaching. So basically, going to the temple on Friday for me, I didn't proclaim my nationality for years. Going to the temple on Friday for me was my escape from the street. That was my first time to see some women dressed up nice that look like me, that's covered up, that's into the same thing I'm into. That want to talk about Egyptians and shit like that. Like you remember this LA we talking about, bros. This ain't like probably out y'all way where it's like all these beefing factions and everybody deep and all that. You know, I'd be out there, but I mean, out there kind of getting like out here now though. But out here though, it's so dry with the knowledge. Like for me, going to the temple was just like I get dressed, I go there, I put on the different dashikis, the fez, the kufi. So that started affecting how I dressed in the streets. I learned my first video, Crip Jesus too. I'm running through LA with the Moroccan flag. So what's cool with that's a red flag, right? And I'm a Crip, right? So bro, it's like all these things have always had a direct effect on me. So I always, I pull up on the temple. Even I always tell dudes, like, if you in LA and you even know about Moorish science, just pull up on the temple. You ain't gotta be Moor. You might want to come buy some oil, buy a dress, buy like, and dudes be having such a icky dicky feeling. I'll be like, I don't know what's going on.
Yo, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna say this publicly. This is why I would rather just support, like with my hat just like this, no fez on. I'd rather just support, give you some bread, move some boxes, help do security, stuff like that. But
I ain't even saying that. No, look, because that's like charity. I'm saying this real simple. And I hope people from LA is watching this and people that's gonna visit LA. You don't gotta like the Moors at all. Just forget the word Moor. The fact that a person that's from the same marginalized group as you in America is doing something positive, and they selling oil, they selling incense, they're selling natural. I'm talking about the temple I'm at. I can't speak for every other temple. We have an actual brick and mortar. I'm not talking about some niggas in their house scamming people. I know about those type of Moors. There's no sympathy for them. I'm talking about this actual brick and mortar on 87th and Normandy in South Central Los Angeles. We sell clothes, food, oil, incense, soap, herbs. I can go on and on and on and on and on. This sister got it going on. Crystals. And they'll go buy that stuff from other people. They'll go get their fences from other people. It's weird. It's like, who cares? Forget charity. We self-sufficient. It's Islam. We ain't no bums over here. We don't need no handouts. We talking about why you want to be fake. I got my fez from a white guy. Yeah. Like, what the hell? Corny. A lot of these conscious black people are corny. They go to the store and buy all their stuff from the white people.
And there's no like.
I went to the Moorish trading post on 87th and Normandy because it was a trading post. I didn't proclaim my nationality up there for 4 years. I spent money and hung out and tapped in and supported them for years. It ain't about no nationality and getting brainwashed. It's about supporting your people. Everybody want to argue.
Can you say that one more time, please?
It's not about no cars, getting brainwashed, learning how to break the law and get away with it. None of this silly stuff people talk about. It's about supporting your people.
Indeed. Yo, on that note, man, thank you for coming out this evening. I really appreciate you. We'll build offline.
And for more of the mysteries, you know what I'm saying, and the history, tap in for the Blue Bible. Thank y'all for having me.
And we are out of here. Peace, brother.